Shabbat Shalom. At this time of the year, we are getting to the second book of the Torah. That for more sages, really they call it the first book, because this is the birthing of a nation. This is the beginning of Israel as a nation. You know, now as a group of people that they are going to search for their own identity, or they are trying to find their identity. You know, we have learned in Bereshit about the way how the world was created, and then the coming of our forefathers, Abraham Avinu, Yitzhak Avinu, and Yaakov Avinu, our forefathers. And then we are going to have the 12 that we are going to read in this morning when we say Ve'ele, you know, but it's saying Ve'ele Shemot. These are the names. And the conjunction verb is going to tell us that it is a continuation of the book of Bereshit. You know, we have a role when we read every Shabbat the parchments, and you see it's all continued. There are no separation. They continue one with the other. These portions and this book, the second book, they call it also the book of redemption. They also call the Sefer Yetzirah, the book of the exit, the living out a place. And there are so many pictures that I can bring it to you. I always tell you, I have been listening messages that our president wrote more than 20 years ago, and you know, I can see also an evolution in my own thoughts, in my own ideas, and how I am growing up, but it's very exciting. One of the things that is very difficult for all of us is that the idea that we were talking about, identity, to whom we belong and things like that, and we have that tendency to align more with a group of people, a sect or religion, you know, more than what it really is true or it is not true. What we try is to belong to something. You know, belonging is very important, and to identify with a group is very important. But what the most greatest job do we have? That if we truly identify with the Boreolam, with the Creator, and we eliminate all human traces, and we go directly to Him. And that is something that, believe me or not, through the thousands of years, us ourselves as human beings, we have been trying to put obstacles to that direct relationship. Because we create, you know, our own set of rules and regulations. And we tell the Creator what He wants. And we are not ready to listen what He wants from us, or what He is telling us to do. I have talked to you, for example, in many ways, in many ideas through the years, about this idea of Bechira Chofshi, free will. And you know, if you compare humans with the rest of the creation, you're going to see how different we are. Because the only one thing, Bechira Chofshi, because we have been given the free will. People say, no, because we are made to the likeness and image of the Creator. You know, we have the capability to talk, to communicate, to think, to feel, all those things. They're wonderful, and these different brands. But what about, we are different to the angels. We have our own will. And the Creator, having all the capabilities, to say the least, to make us do whatever He wants to, He is trying to give us the opportunity to be ourselves. And this opportunity is, you are going to come to me, or you're going to worship to me, or you're going to be part of me because you want to, not because I forced you to do it. And that is the beginning of the true relationship. I have been a marriage counselor for so many years. And I have been in a situation about relationship for a long time. I counsel family counseling, do a lot of counseling. And always is this, we are forcing a relationship. And many of us have a different idea what a true relationship it is. And a relationship is more about what can you give me instead of what I can give to you. It's very self-serving. And even in a relationship with the Creator, becomes a self-serving attitude. In this process, that the Creator is forming a nation, we need to ask ourselves this simple question, that is not so simple, but it's a question. Why the Creator needed to make a nation like Israel? What was the real need for Him? Was it need for Him, or was it need for us? And you're going to see that all of us, we need guidance. We need to be taught about different things. When we are children, that's when our parents become very important in our upbringing. You know, in Mishlei, in Proverbs, they tell us, they teach us, that if the child grows with a lot of love and good guidance by his or her parents, that child is going to grow very strong and very secure in themselves. But if the children do not have a very good upbringing, you are going to have consequences after. And there are going to be problems, even to the level of they create mental problems. That is today a very important profession is psychotherapists. They are very popular now, all over the world. And they will bring you back to your birth, to your upbringing. We can do a psychotherapy to Israel. If we need to see something about Israel that can give us certain ideas about Israel, and also we can give us something to identify ourselves. You know that today it's very popular, and there are countries, and especially countries in the East Europe, that it has a law about that they allow surrogate mothers. And you know, and they are, depending on the time of the thing, but they are very expensive. It's a big business now. In the Western world, you know, it's very codified, this system, but even that you don't have the right, the woman doesn't have the right to charge any money to the person that's doing the service, and things like that. And nobody does it for nothing, you know, and for a woman to become pregnant with somebody else's child, that will be very difficult. But that is now normal. You have now certain special families that, to me, is Sabbath. No, I better get away from that. It's not time to talk about that. But they use this service. Look at, in this same picture, in parallel, look about Israel. Looks like that the Creator hired a surrogate mother. And implanted in the womb of this mother the cell, the child. And this mother contained this baby in her womb and make it grow and then give it birth. But you know this idea that when the surrogate mother supposedly needs to give the child to the real parents. But what happened, this surrogate mother got in love with this child, or didn't want to let that child to give it back, and tried to keep it. And then came this trouble. Because that child doesn't belong to you, belongs to me. And comes the process about fighting for identity too. Do I belong to the surrogate mother, or I belong to the true mother? And when the child starts growing up, when the child is in the womb of the mother, even the surrogate mother has nothing to do with that child, only to feed the child or to maintain the child, to make it grow. But in that process, how the mother affects the child in the womb? What happened is the mother is a drug addict. How is the child going to be born? As a drug addict. What about that in the process of forming the child, making grow the child, they're injecting the poison of idolatry. When the child is born, what is born with? As an idolater. And then he needs to go through a process of detox. And they need to, little by little, they need to take all these poison that is in the blood already of the child, inside the system of the child. Our Creator is going to do that with Israel when it came out of the womb of Egypt, have been intoxicated and need to go through a process that we are going to see in this book of Shemot. How the Creator, little by little, is detox the child. When here there are people who are, and has met people, by the way, that has counseling, that they were addicted to heroin. And then here there is a program. And when those who are addicts to heroin, they go to a process of detox and they give it a substitute, a drug. What is that drug? Do you know? Methadone. Look, one is very hard drug, the other is a lesser drug, but it's still a drug. And you're going to see how the Creator is going to do with Israel. Going from the heroin to methadone, little by little, until Israel can completely be detoxed from idolatry. If you read the Torah, you read the Tanakh, you read our see that one of the constant complaints of the prophets against Israel is about the coming back to idolatry. It's like they have fallen. They go back to the places that were before. And they're constantly struggling. What I want to do in this book at this time, to face it in different way with Exodus, is that we can look at ourselves and to examine ourselves in which areas we are a little bit intoxicated. What is the area that we as individuals, we cannot let it go? I was talking down the past blogs. Because we are continuing growing. And we cannot look at the scriptures only for spiritual growing is we do not apply in our life. We don't need to over-spiritualize everything if we cannot apply the truth of the Torah in our own lives. You know, the Shabbat is good. But remember that the Shabbat has been given to us for our own good. Not to be a slave of the Shabbat, but at the Shabbat to be helpful to us. How many of us we have become intoxicated by religion to the point that we cannot think clear anymore. And we need to detox ourselves. And little by little we need to talk the anti-heroin to take the methadone. You know, when I was young, I was very liberal and I was very excited about all the socialism and communism at that time was in at that time. And looks like it's coming back. Now I can see a better way, but you know, everybody needs to go through their own problems, through their own times, and to search for their own truth. But I'm never going to forget Karl Marx's statement. Religion is the opium of the people. And I want to tell you that now, to me, makes more sense than ever. Because we do not realize how much religion intoxicates us, that takes away the capability to think for ourselves, and we let other people do our thinking. You can be very pious, very religious, very given to it, but my question is, are you thinking for yourself, or are you following others? What do you think one of my favorite statements of the prophet is Yochanan when he said, "Cursed be the man who trusts in man, and blessed be the man who trusts in the Creator." This is the time that we need to see this book, the Yetziah, the exit, the going up away from slavery. But what kind of slavery we are talking about? Everybody talks about only the physical slavery. You know what is the worst slavery? The spiritual slavery. That's what religion does to you. That's what makes so many fanatics in the world. That is the reason that religion becomes the most destructive weapon in the world among humans, the most divisive among the men, instead to bring us together. Supposedly we have been created by one Creator. We have been created by one God. But everybody has say to you, my God is better than your God. How many gods do we have? We're going to see here in Shemot. Moshe Rabbeinu, the liberator. I always call Moshe Rabbeinu the reluctant leader. Even I wrote a side about Moshe Rabbeinu, a reluctant leader. But you know why he was reluctant? Everybody talks bad about it, that he was trying to escape from the responsibility of this kind of thing. No, the task was humongous. You only can see your responsibility when you understand your task. You know, when Socrates was asked, the greatest wise man in the world, he was asked, teacher, master, how much do you know? And his famous answer to his disciples was, the only thing I know is that I don't know anything. And he was the wisest man in his time. You ask somebody who is totally ignoramus, you say, how much do you know? Oh, I know everything. More ignoramus you are, you think you know more. More understanding and knowledge you have, you realize how little you know. That's what happened with Moshe Rabbeinu. The task that the Creator was giving to Moshe Rabbeinu was humongous. There was a baby that he needed to deal with that was intoxicated. In the worst part, I said, they were Jewish, were Israelis. What happened with that? I am one of them, that's the reason I tell you. How you hear us saying, to Jews, 3 opinions? They say that the Jewish people are the only people that cannot be governed. Do you know why you have so many synagogues that even with maximum 10 people? Because each one is right against the other one. Have you heard that joke about the guy that went to an island and was by himself a Jewish man? And he built 3 synagogues? Not 2, 3. And he was the only one. This one because this is good for this time, this is good for this time. In case that young again with both, I can go to the 3rd one. He needs to govern these people. And from the beginning, what does it say? You read carefully the Exodus, the 1st chapter, and say, they cry out, but they never mention the name of God. See, this is not, yeah, this is not good. We are suffering too much. They were complaining. But do they call God? God heard their voice because he created them. They were not asking for God. They were asking for a liberator. And the Creator will send a liberator under him. And the first thing that he's going to teach them is who he is, what is his name, and everything else, that they need to remember the thing that brought from their parents. I ask you, are you intoxicated with something? There is something that's holding you back? Could be your pride. Could be your religion. Could be your status quo. Could be your wealth. Could be your lack of wealth. What is the thing that's holding you? Your relationships, family relationships, friendly relationships. You know, this is the time redemption. There's a book called Time of Redemption. How are you redeemed? You cannot be redeemed against your will. That is the reason that it took so long for Israel, not only to get out from Egypt, but to go to the second generation for a second chance. We're going to see all of this. How you ask yourself, why the Creator they needed to build such a thing with the tabernacle, with the Mishkan, for the people there? Focus. What happens when you have too many things? You need to focus. And you're going to see how the Creator, little by little, is going to bring Israel together to focus on Him. And to see the reality. He's born under a surrogate mother who had intoxicated the child, and the child to be detoxed to a process that's going to take time. But at the same time, in this struggle, they need to look at themselves. We need to constantly search ourselves. And this is the reason why this book is so important for us to understand it in our own lives. If you do not apply Torah in your life, the only thing that you're going to be is a very well-educated person in certain areas. But that is all about. The Creator doesn't want that you are knowledgeable of everything. But He wants is that you live a life with the Torah. Israel accepted the Torah. Now the question is, do they keep the Torah? And that doesn't matter who says talk to you. Doesn't matter how we live in this in la la land or whatever you wanted to call it. The truth of the matter is that Israel went from failure to failure. The one that never failed us was the Creator. Is still here with us, in spite of ourselves. Then it's time that we wake up. Every generation needs to wake up. I talked last week about that we are in the generation of the entitlement. You know, this is the first time in the generation that the parents, they need to supply the children until they are 90 years old. And not only that, but the children, they say, you owe me. It's like right now I will go to the Creator and I say, you give me life, you create me, it's your problem. And that's what we're saying. And what the Torah teaches you is about know yourself, accept yourself, be loyal to yourself. In that way you can be loyal to your neighbors. And being loyal to your neighbors, you are worshiping God. This is why we need to learn about this portion of this book. Identify with your life. And we are going to see our growing from being babies, being the terrible twos, going to adolescence, and go to maturity. up. I have met people that are 80 years old and they are still babies. I have met young people, they are 90 years old. All depending where is your time of growing. Trying to understand yourself and identify yourself who you are. There are some of us that will refuse to grow up. We would like to be taking care the rest of our life. And because we want to be taking the rest of our life, we do not want to grow up. What is more secure? I talk about relationships. And one of the worst relationships I have seen between couples is about the dependency. That no one can be themselves. And this idea to be one means that you lose your identity. That's not true. Be one is that we respect each other. And we grow together. But it doesn't mean that I disappear who I am. Because each one of us, according to Psalm 139, we have been made in a marvelous way by the Creator. And He knew our thoughts from the beginning, at the moment of conception. And yes, as Dennis said this morning, but I totally agree. It's at the moment of conception, already the Creator is in you. And then little by little, growing up, you are going to discover to whom you belong. And it's so exciting when you have that calling, like Moshe Rabbeinu had that calling, and like many of us have the calling. And we don't need to belong to a special race. We don't need to have any special color. We do not need to speak a special language. We don't need to have a special gender. Because God has called us as individuals to serve our community. And this is why it's so important that we start in this book of Exodus in our own Yexia, in our own pilgrimage, in our own journey, getting closer to the Creator. Getting away from so many religions that want to confuse you and going directly to Him. There are some marvelous things in the scriptures that you can read and you can study and you can grow. But all of them are principles for life. It is not about to do exactly what they say, it's about to understand the principle. Many people call to be imitators and say, be yourself. You don't need to imitate anybody. You need to be who you are and the best that you are. That is the reason that the Creator made you in a marvelous way. And it's my prayer that when we go through the book of Exodus, Shemot, the names. It's interesting is that Be'el Shemot. These are the names. What is your name? Because your name identifies you. What you have done with that name? This is what is so important. You know what somebody say about you is what you say about yourself. Don't allow define you, you need to define yourself. Israel is going to go in the process of auto-definition, self-definition. And they are going to be in the process of belonging to the Creator, and identifying themselves with the Creator in the relationship. And they're going to be a mutual relationship. And it is relating to the Creator in a way of acting and doing, being responsible. It is my prayer at the beginning of this book, and here, that we continue growing as Israel will grow, and that we accept our fallings as part of our own growing, and coming back and nourishing our failures and trying to do better. I hope that many of us will learn from our own past experiences not to do the same or to repeat the problem, or not to pass that problem to our next generation. You know, it's interesting. The scripture they're talking about in Bereshit is talking about the curses of men will go to the third and fourth generation, but the blessings of the Creator go to the 1,000th generation. And you understand this principle, not in the literal way, but in the principle that the Creator wants to give it to you. It says, every generation has the opportunity to cut the curse of the past generation. And the curse will last forever. But the blessings of God is forever. May the Lord bless you. Shabbat shalom.